Once upon a time, in ancient Greece, a land of majestic mountains, a hero with extraordinary strength was born. No one could defeat him. This hero was Hercules, the son of the god Zeus and the mortal Alcmena, who created an immortal legend through 12 mighty labors that would echo through the ages. The legend begins in the mystical and powerful world of Greek mythology. A story begins with a love affair between a supreme god and a mortal woman. This is the story of Hercules, a hero who carried divine blood and became the everlasting symbol of strength, courage, and the desire for redemption. Hercules was the result of the union between Zeus, the king of Olympus, and a mortal woman named Alcmena, famous for her beauty and virtue. From the moment of his birth, Hercules possessed extraordinary strength, far beyond any human. However, his destiny was not easy. Hercules' very existence was proof of Zeus's betrayal, something that filled Hera, the wife of the thunder god. With great fury, Hera, known for her jealousy and cruelty, saw Hercules as a thorn in her side. From the time he was in his cradle, she sought to kill him. Legend says that one night, Hera sent 2 poisonous snakes to kill Hercules when he was just an infant. But to her surprise, Hercules did not cry or fear like other babies. With his innate strength, the child squeezed both snakes to death, leaving everyone astonished and admiring him. From then on, it was clear that this boy was not meant to live a normal life. However, Hera's misfortune for him did not end there. When Hercules grew up and married Megara, it seemed that a peaceful life had finally arrived for the hero. But no, Hera was still relentless. Once again, she planted a fit of madness in Hercules' mind. In a moment of uncontrollable rage, Hercules unknowingly killed his wife and children, those he loved most. When he came to his senses and realized the horrific crime he had committed, his heart was shattered. He was haunted by the pain, remorse, and guilt, desperate to atone for his sins and cleanse his soul. Hercules went to the temple of Apollo to seek guidance. There, the god decreed that he must serve King Eurystheus of Tyrians and complete 12 impossible tasks. These were not just punishments, but a path for Hercules to atone for his sins and prove his worth. The challenges set by King Eurystheus were not for mere mortals. They were dangerous tasks that required Hercules to face bizarre creatures, supernatural forces, and even mental challenges. Each task was a battle between instinct and reason, strength and faith, humanity and fate. And so, the great journey of Hercules began, a journey to redeem himself and prove his worth through 12 legendary labors. From then on, the hero, carrying both pain and strength, would write an immortal tale that would be passed down through the ages. The 12 labors of Hercules. After accepting Apollo's decree, Hercules journeyed to the kingdom of Tyrians, where he submitted to King Eurystheus and listened to all his commands. From here, the series of 12 legendary tasks began, famous throughout the centuries. Task 1. Kill the Nemean. Lion Hercules' first task was to kill the lion of Nemea, a monster with an impenetrable hide. No arrows or swords could pierce it. After several battles, Hercules decided to use his hands to strangle the beast. He succeeded. After killing the lion, Hercules skinned it and used its pelt to create an invulnerable armor for himself. Task 2. Slay the Lernaean Hydra. The Hydra was a creature living in the swamps of Lerna, with many snake heads. Each time one head was chopped off, 2 new heads grew in its place. Hercules needed help to burn the stumps after each decapitation to stop new heads from growing. After slaying the Hydra, he dipped his arrows in its venom, creating deadly poisoned weapons. Task 3. Capture the golden-horned stag of Cyrenea. The golden-horned stag, swift as the wind and sacred to the goddess Artemis, was not to be harmed. Only captured. Hercules stalked it for a whole year, watching every step of the stag, and finally caught it without causing any injury. Task 4. Capture the Erymanthian boar. The giant boar in the Erymanthos forest terrorized the villagers due to its size and ferocity. Hercules hunted it down through the deep woods, using brute force to subdue it and trap it in the snow. Task 5. Clean the Augean stables. In one day, the stables of King Augeas had not been cleaned for decades. Hercules used his intellect to redirect 2 rivers to wash away all the filth in one day, leaving the king astonished and speechless. Task 6. Slay the Stymphalian birds. These man-eating birds had metal feathers sharp as blades. Hercules asked the goddess Athena for help, who gave him a tool to make the birds panic and fly up, where he shot them down with his bow and arrows. Task 7. Capture the Cretan bull. The giant bull on the island of Crete was once a sacrificial offering to Poseidon, but was abandoned. The bull went mad and wreaked havoc. Hercules faced it, subdued it with his strength, and brought it back to Tiryns. Task 8. Tame the mares of Diomedes. Diomedes, a tyrannical king in Thrace, kept a herd of horses that ate human flesh. Hercules confronted the soldiers and fed the horses with Diomedes' own flesh, taming them instantly. Task 9. Steal the belt of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. Hercules was tasked with bringing back the magical belt of Hippolyta, the Amazonian queen. Initially, she was willing to give it to him, but Hera spread lies, causing the Amazon warriors to attack Hercules. In the ensuing chaos, Hercules took the belt and escaped. Task 10. Steal the cattle of Geryon. Geryon was a creature with 3 bodies and 3 heads. His cattle were guarded by a monstrous dog and a herdsman. Hercules defeated them all, killed Geryon with a poisoned arrow, and brought the cattle back after a long journey. Task 11. Retrieve the golden apples of the Hesperides. The golden apples were guarded by a 100-headed dragon and the nymphs of the orchard. Hercules asked the Titan Atlas for help to pluck the apples, while he took on the burden of holding up the sky. When Atlas returned, Hercules used a trick to take the apples and escape. Task 12. Capture Cerberus, the 3-headed dog of the underworld. This final task was the most dangerous. Eurystheus ordered Hercules to descend into the underworld, ruled by the god Hades, and bring back Cerberus, the 3-headed dog who guarded the gates of hell. Unlike before, Hercules could not use weapons or tricks. He had to rely on his physical strength and indomitable will to succeed. Before venturing into the underworld, Hercules performed purification rites in Eleusis, as no mortal could enter the realm of the dead without preparation. Then, he traveled to the gates of the underworld, surrounded by the cold Styx River and eternal fog. There, he encountered wandering souls and terrifying creatures like the snake monster Echidna, vengeful spirits, and especially the god Charon, who ferried souls across the Styx. Hercules' bravery shocked the forces of the underworld. Even Hades himself was curious when he saw a mortal dare to enter his domain. Hercules requested permission from Hades to bring Cerberus to the living world, with the condition that he would not harm the creature. Hades agreed, and a fierce struggle ensued between Hercules and Cerberus. The 3-headed dog barked furiously, its sharp teeth like hooks, and its serpent tail lashed wildly. But Hercules did not back down. He grappled with the beast, eventually overpowering it and tying it with a special golden chain from Hades. Bringing Cerberus back to Tiryns, Hercules caused a panic in the palace. King Eurystheus was so terrified that he hid in a large jar, refusing to see the beast. After proving his success, Hercules returned Cerberus to the underworld, keeping his promise to Hades. With the final task completed, Hercules was officially recognized by both the gods and mortals as the greatest hero, surpassing all human limits. The end of the journey, glory and tragedy. The 12 labors were not just physical challenges. They were a journey to purify Hercules' soul. From a man tormented by guilt and hatred, Hercules became a symbol of courage, sacrifice, and virtue. However, his life after the 12 labors was not over. He continued to take part in many heroic deeds, saving the innocent, slaying monsters, and defeating enemies. But the destiny of a Greek hero always accompanies tragedy. In another story, Hercules married Deianira, a beautiful woman who became the cause of his final tragedy. Deceived by the words of the centaur Nessus, Deianira accidentally gave Hercules a tunic soaked in poisonous blood, causing him unbearable pain and forcing him to burn himself on a funeral pyre. But death was not the end of Hercules. Moved by his courage and his journey of redemption, the gods took Hercules to Mount Olympus, where he became an immortal god, the legacy of Hercules. The legend of Hercules has lived on for thousands of years in Greek culture, spreading throughout Europe, the Middle East, and far beyond. His name has appeared in poetry, sculpture, painting, and film for centuries. Each of Hercules' labors is a symbol. It represents strength in overcoming seemingly impossible challenges. It represents courage when facing the unknown, and above all, it represents the ability to rise from sin, turning pain into light, and transforming from a mortal into a legend. Why is Hercules immortal in the hearts of mankind? Hercules is not just a mythical hero. He embodies what humans long for: to surpass limits, find light in the darkness, and leave an indelible mark on history. The story of Hercules teaches us that, no matter the mistakes we make, no matter the price we pay in blood and tears, with determination and courage, we can redeem ourselves, reach for nobility, and achieve immortality. The immortal hero, after completing the 12 labors, Hercules was not only forgiven, but also became an eternal symbol of bravery, overcoming seemingly impossible tasks. From killing the Nemean lion, capturing the golden-horned stag, cleaning King Algius's stables, to pulling Cerberus from the underworld, Hercules was no longer a mortal. He became a legend, a model of strength, courage, and redemption. Though born of Zeus's blood, Hercules' life was never a bed of roses. But it was the hardships, losses, and efforts to overcome destiny that made him admired not only by humanity, but by the gods on Mount Olympus. When he passed away, Hercules' soul was taken by the gods to Mount Olympus, a place reserved for those worthy of becoming legends. Hercules left this world in tragedy, tricked into wearing a tunic soaked in poisonous blood. His body burned on the pyre. But that fire did not destroy a man. It purified a soul. Zeus, his powerful father, could not allow his heroic son to suffer forever. He sent Hermes to bring Hercules to the heavens. The gods welcomed him as a friend. And even Hera, who had once hated him, forgave him and gave him Hebe as his wife. From then on, Hercules was no longer a mortal. He became an immortal god, depicted in the sky through the constellation named after him, Hercules. Each time humans look up at the night sky, they remember him. the hero who overcame fate to find the light. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you found the video helpful and interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Wishing you a wonderful day, and see you in the next video.